This is the Your Money Hour podcast. I am your host, Dakota Grady, and welcome to the show, everyone. Whether you're in South Carolina, California, Mexico, or anywhere in the world, thank you for joining me on the show tonight. So, I am Dakota Grady. I do personal finance. So, if you want to get help with your personal finances, you can check out my website at dakotagrady.com, and there are resources there for you. Also, my book, Financial Hope, you can get that available on my website as well. And you also need to contact me about your taxes because I can do taxes for you and your business accounting. But tonight I also have a guest for accounting on my side is the AT Doc. That's the ATDOC.com for accounting taxes. So my friend Jewell of Jewell Tax Consulting Services, been knowing Jewell for about maybe 5 years, if not longer than that. So
Yes.
Jill and I met back in Tennessee when I was prospecting for businesses, trying to get my accounting business off the ground. My first run at accounting. So without further ado, Jewell, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks. We hadn't talked in a while, at least in person, face to face.
Yes. So tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Okay, I am a enrolled agent. Started off doing tax preparation and got more involved, got an enrolled agent designation. So I have a tax practice, Jewell's Tax Consulting Services. Now, an enrolled agent is a designation that you get from the IRS after some extra studying and passing tests. What this designation does is of help in tax resolution. So people who owe money and need help with disputes with the IRS, you got three choices: enrolled agent, accountant, or tax attorney. All three are licensed to practice before the IRS.
Awesome. So I actually tried to get the EA, but that test was hard. So I just said I bypass it. I mean, I can do accounting and taxes without that, but if I
Uh-huh.
need your help, you'll be sure I'm going to call you.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
tell everybody where you're from originally, and then like where are you currently?
Okay, all right. I was in Nashville, Tennessee, but actually before that, Virginia Beach, East Coast. Then I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, about 2008. Was there up until the end of last year, in which I am decided to visit Rosarito, Mexico, extensively visiting now. And even though it's tax season, I'm still operating as a tax practitioner from Rosarito. Nowadays, everything is so contactless due to COVID-19. I figure now it's just as good time as any to visit Rosarito and be there a while.
So we met. I was prospecting for business for my first accounting firm, and I met you at it was a coffee shop slash I guess merchandise company.
Yes, it was a coffee shop slash retail outlet. Had vintage clothes, a variety of clothes, with my good friend Pat Smith, and she is still doing the same thing. Not in that particular location now, but actually I was visiting her. You walked in, I saw you do your presentation, and we connected. Also, we had been I had been doing your tax return for a while, and Dakota, I always wondered, it's like, well, you're fully capable of doing your own tax return. Why do you need me? You know, that I asked you that constantly, but I guess you had your reasons in double checking on how to do tax return and educating yourself on it.
Yes. So
But now, my last destination is, like I said, Rosarito, Mexico, and doing it through portal, fax, however clients want to send me their documents securely. Some people, due to COVID-19, all of us are getting in the 21st century, whether we like it or not, because of safety. There's fewer face-to-face contact. Any customer service, you got to call or, with your mask on, reach through the door. Everyone's being cautious. Even here in Mexico, face masks required when you're out in public.
Awesome. So we're gonna talk about a few topics tonight. First, let's talk about your 90 days of being a non-smoker. Talk about that.
Okay. Yes. Actually, today is 90 days. Where I had my last cigarette. Actually, I left the cigarettes behind when I crossed the border. The day before I crossed the border all the way, decided to leave that. I felt each day, in case I fell off the wagon, I could start again. But so far, so good. It's like, well, I can at least try a little bit each day. And one of the reasons why I chose to be in Rosarito is being near the ocean. It has some energetic healing properties. At that time, actually, for a while, I've been seeking to raise my vibration. By that, I mean spiritually, as far as guidance, cleansing, uh, also participating in healthier lifestyle. Well, one of the things is to not to have those extra chemicals or unsafe ingredients in your system.
Mm.
And cigarette smoking was just direct, wasn't doing anything else but putting more, of course we are aware of this. Now having a habit and quitting it is another task. And it takes a lot of work, but I felt I was at the point where I could just choose to try, and that's where it is. I've had some help, some energetic help, and right now we're trying to define what to do about it. Perhaps establish a program. It was actually designed to be energy healing, therapy, massage therapy, healthier eating, and what I got out of it was the ability to quit smoking. So
Mm.
perhaps this could be a program that we can define a little more useful.
Mm.
I figure I had nothing to lose. I've tried so many times, and I did not want to switch to those nicotine vapor pens. That's just one item, one type of nicotine for another. So I quit cold turkey and was still able to, not so far so good, knock on wood, not gain weight as one would expect when people quit smoking.
So you talk about that part. I think you say you lost 30 pounds. Is that right?
30 pounds, 3 dress sizes. Actually, I started the weight loss routine almost 2 years ago. Probably the last time you saw me in person, I might have lost 10 pounds. That was a little over a year ago. So it took some time, a number of ways with the eating, exercising. I was still smoking then. It's like, it's not quite there, but it's transition. And I felt if I could do that, why don't I try something else? And that's how it ended up. It's like, well, so far so good. Could try each day.
And that led you to Rosarito, Mexico, right?
Yes, actually, it did. I think it's the right combination, right time to consider the idea. When it was posed to me, I thought, well, I want to at least visit somewhere before I move. So Thanksgiving vacation, spent about a week here exploring, and was very lovely. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Even if I didn't return to visit again, it was a great vacation toward the end of the season. And saw an opportunity while here at Rosarito, saw a place available, sought out to get here, and was approved. And it's like, well, why not? So after I got back to Nashville, it's like, well, let's proceed to the next step. And if it's successful, then I guess it was meant to be the next step of where I'm staying. And be honest, Dakota, with all this craziness between the pandemic, political unrest, what have you, you might as well be in a nice place riding out the pandemic.
And why not there on the beach, right?
Mhm. It's beautiful. I mean, people speak English also. You can pay with pesos and dollars, and it is a real budget-friendly place to be. I'm liking it a lot.
Awesome, awesome.
Mhm.
So let's talk about taxes. You're a tax professional as well as me. We had the new tax law changes with
Uh-huh.
unemployment. You got the Payroll Protection Program, and also the expatriate. Talk about each of those, please.
Okay, sure. Well, that's what's on everybody's minds, especially say is that the third stimulus check. Now you can go anywhere online, Google, YouTube, type in third stimulus check update. You'll have maybe a dozen sources of people spending time to give you the thorough update.
Yes.
But bottom line, what's most important to remember is on the third check stimulus update, the package. And well, today was the first day you could go online to the IRS.gov website, select get my payment, so you can look up the status of where you are, and it will advise you whether your check is on the way or being deposited. Now, the way it's been explained, it will be done in waves. People with know who had done their tax return. They always go by your most recent filed tax return. If you got a refund and it was direct deposited and you're in the income range, you'll be one of the first to get your stimulus payment direct deposit. Now, if you owed money, and even though you provided your bank account, they can't deposit it. It's something in their system where they can't deposit because you owed. So
Mm.
you'll get a paper check or a debit
Interesting.
card.
Interesting.
Yes, yes, it's like, that's interesting. But they should be distributed, I guess, within about 3 weeks, all who are getting a stimulus check.
Yes, and
What's a big deal? Uh-huh.
I think in the range is like 150,000 $150,000 for married couples, and then 75,000
Right.
for single,
And
right?
more than 80 for single.
Correct. Correct.
Yes. And one part of this stimulus update is it includes that was added in through voting, the House and Senate. That this was what was added in is your 22. If anybody had unemployment compensation for tax year 2020,
Mhm.
it allows the first 10,400 to be tax free. Now we're still getting guidance on how to proceed with that, waiting for IRS. If you have filed your tax return, and of course, you're claiming that as income, wait for instruction. Don't do an amendment. They're specifically saying don't do that. That'll just tax the system down.
Mm.
They're looking at a way of self-adjusting because you've already filed. They've already got your information. They could
True.
just self-adjust. For those who have not filed and you want to wait for the direction, they're working on a worksheet update that'll be incorporated with tax software when they get it incorporated, where you can exclude that amount. And for the most part, for those getting it, that'll be like another $1,000 tax refund. You could calculate in your pocket.
All right. So it's like a credit then, in other words.
Yes, like a tax credit. Yes, it's an exclusion of income.
Correct. And
Yes.
I assume a lot of people may have not withheld taxes from the unemployment. I guess that's why they included that.
It could be, yeah. That will be a big help to those people if they were already worried about
Right.
it. But the safest bet is, I always say, if you pay now, pay later.
Right.
Have them take it out. If they're not to get it, you'll get it back as a refund.
Yes.
That way you don't get yourself in trouble.
True.
To avoid it.
So
Now,
the expatriate, talk about that, please.
Expatriates. What expatriates are citizens of another country living in another country. So American expatriates are like American citizens living in another country. And there are some tax benefits depending on where you are with that. For example, you could have your income excluded. 2020, I believe that's up to $107,000. So it's varied. It could be salaried. It could be stock. There's a list of things. And there's a list protocol to, follow, So essentially, if you were here, but you're still an American citizen, see, the US, if you're a citizen of the United States or a resident, the US wants to tax your worldwide income. So no matter where you are, no matter where you're earning your money, they're going to tax it. Now, you can exclude that amount. The reason for the exclusion, because they know, you got to pay for rent and fuel and utility and expenses while in the other country. and you can, this is how it helps you. Of course, you have to have a substantial presence. So, that's like up to a year. There's some extra rules and steps to follow. Uh, and that is what helps. Now, there are what's called treaties, tax treaties with other countries, and how they tend to work. Let's say, for example, I'm in Mexico. Let's say I pay some Mexican taxes instead of pay my US taxes. Well, because I'm a US citizen, I can put the amount on my tax return that I paid in Mexican taxes and get credit for the US taxes.
Correct,
So that's
correct.
how they, report to each other and keep each other covered.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's just easy to remember. But you just file your tax returns like anything else, any other year. My brother had stayed in another country for a while. He was an expatriate of actually Egypt.
Hmm.
And, so he took advantage of the foreign income exclusion. It cancels out some other things if you take the exclusion, but I let those people know most other tax credits you can't get if you take that foreign income exclusion. You can't double dip on the same income.
Correct, correct. Because I think if you get the deduction, you can't take the credit. So, and vice versa.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I can't remember if for the foreign tax credit, I can't remember if it's a deductible or non-refundable one or refundable. Is it non-refundable one?
It's non-refundable. It's excluded.
All
So
right.
if you made $100,000, you get $100,000 excluded. You don't get anything back up to what you have. But that it keeps you from getting things like earned income credit. That's a refundable, and that's a limit anyway.
Correct, correct. All right. And talk about the payroll protection program because I know people are applying for it. Talk about any updates with that.
Sure. Yes. Well, if you're a business, the Paycheck Protection Program, if you've participated, how that really works or what makes one qualify is that your business was affected by COVID-19 and you were in business as of February 15, 2020, meaning you can demonstrate you had income or assets and operating your business. And that's simple enough to do with the financial documents one would have. Mm-hmm. And that's how you got paycheck protection. And what that essentially is helping you keep your employees or yourself working. You could get 2.5 times monthly payroll. So, and you can also consider getting it forgiven. So there's some extra rules to getting it forgiving. Now there's what they call a second draw, where they made another round of paycheck protection money available because they still had money left over from the first draw. So they make it more available by saying, okay, your second draw applicant, to be eligible for your second draw would be to have the same quarter where your income was 25% or more affected. So let's say third quarter 2019 versus third quarter 2020. Mm-hmm. And my income for third quarter 2019 was at least 25% of what my income was in my business for 2020. Mm-hmm. I can go for another draw up to the same amount as eligible, 2.5 times payroll, gross payroll, and still collect it. Now, the rule of thumb, the reason why I want to make sure to get this out is that the deadline for applying for the second draw on Paycheck Protection Program is the 17th. That's tomorrow.
Oh, really? Now, wow.
Yes, the 17th, where you must, if you got an offer or if considering applying, do it tomorrow. Now, the other option is maybe they'll extend that application period to the end of the month, but we don't know. They might. They're saying more than likely, but they haven't changed anything on that. But if you tune in tomorrow to your sources on the Paycheck Protection Program, they'll probably update you with that, because these guys keep it up to the hour when they release this information. They get everything downloaded and they actually do the reading. I don't do the reading. I tune into other sources and just extract what I need for my clients.
Understand. So taxes, how have you made it simple for your clients? Because it can be cumbersome with the tax code.
Yes, it is. Well, like last year when all this the COVID-19, the Paycheck Protection, the EDL loans and grants, what I did is the people that I know that could be affected, my clients that would want to apply or hear about it, I called them first. It was like, oh, forget all this email. I just called each one, took time, took about 2 weeks to call each one, each person. It's like, well, hey, here's what's going on. If you're interested, move now, because time was of the essence. All this was happening pretty quickly. And there were a few that applied for the EDL grant and loan. And of course, updating them by phone, email, I use a portal from my website where clients can log in and send their sensitive documents, and I send the documents. So that way we can securely transfer information. And now, of course, follow up whatever they qualified for. I have some, business clients, independent contractors, self-employed people that benefit from it.
All right,
It,
awesome. So from going from Nashville to Mexico and working your business remotely, like how had to change your business model or had to change it at all?
It's changed a little bit. I've decided instead of shocking people, just basically say, okay, I'm visiting, and I am really, because I guess anything could happen and I could have to return. I'm only about an hour away from San Diego, just slightly across the border. It's just I decided not to leave anything stored in Nashville. It's like, why do that? Just stay here or stay there whenever. It was interesting. I brought a majority of stuff, drove from Nashville and all the way to Rosarito, and getting set up. It's quite budget friendly. Like I said, you could eat for maybe 40% less cost of
Wow.
living. Just general observation.
Wow.
And so we're eating real good here.
Good.
Yes.
So,
And being safe, like using common sense to be safe. Of course, you mask up when you go in public. On the beach, it's okay to walk because you're far enough without the mask. I take a daily walk at the beach, which is my exercise, and getting some sun. Weather's mild. It can be power surges when it's stormy here, but that's minor, here and there. It's mild most days.
all right. Before
Mm-hmm.
we close, what do you want to leave with the audience with?
Oh, what do I want to leave the audience with? Well, sure, there's things that we have to do to, survive and look out for ourselves and our family, but each day is a new day. So it's not just about work and money. It's about living. It's about being happy each day. If you did everything you could, if you're not going to wake up tomorrow, you might as well do everything you could today. And that's part of why I'm here. I could do taxes from anywhere, but I might as well be here while I can.
Awesome. So, how can people find out about you online and your website, Jewell?
Yes, my website, jewellstaxconsultingservices.com. I have a YouTube channel, Jewell's Tax. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. Now, I do have to update some things since I've staying in Mexico. So I've got a changing of my look. I want to update with the news and been contemplating how to deliver that. You're the first Dakota to get the news. You got the scoop.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me on the show. And again, get their website one more time, Jewell.
Jewellstaxconsultingservices.com.
All right. So if you don't want me to do your taxes for you, if you prefer a nice looking lady like Jewell to do your taxes, Contact her today at jewelltechservices.com. And this is the Your Money Hour podcast. Thanks for joining me, Jewell.
Thank you.